Morning, my friends. So, I have thoughts, and this isn't a video with much of a purpose. Let me preface by saying that I don't make these for any reason other than my own amusement. I don't care about likes or subscribers or anything of the sort. Obviously, I don't get dressed up. I don't worry about what my makeup looks like. I really don't care. So you get me for exactly as I am, and if people want to watch them, they can, and if not, they don't. It's more of I record things when it comes to me that it's something that I have some amusement in or a thought. And in this particular case, I have some thoughts that I wanted to put together, just more or less as a putting my own head together kind of thing, like a Dear Diary kind of entry of some sort. So today we do makeup and thoughts. Yes, I put my face on 99% of the time, and I hardly ever see anyone, so that is entirely for me. Anyway, I am a practicing witch, if that has not become blatantly obvious at this point. I have a mentor. I love her to death. She calls me out on my bullshit, which I appreciate. She helps me to see things from a different perspective, and she may or may not even watch these. I don't know. I never asked. But, so yes, I am a witch. I am a hearth witch. And this is not the point of what I'm trying to say at all, but I'm just saying it. So, if there's ever another massive witch hunt, then I guess the black cat's out of the bag. So there you have it. And I will light a cigarette on top of my fucking funeral pyre. Again, not the point. But I am also a believer in the Bible and in Jesus Christ. I am a follower of Yahweh, Yeshua, Jehovah. He has many names, and I have my beliefs on things, and maybe we'll discuss that one day, and maybe we won't, and it's really neither here nor there. It's just how I am, but people say that you can't have Bible-believing or a Christian witch, yet here I am. So anyway, that being said, I have thoughts on what's going on in the world, and that was kind of my purpose in that particular preface. I do believe in astrology. The Bible specifically says that the sun and moon and stars and heavenly bodies were given for signs and seasons. We are currently in the age of Pisces, and the experts are saying that the age of Aquarius is expected to begin roughly December 21st of this year, and currently it is November 7th of 2020, and we are in the midst of chaos in this country because of the elections. I am in the United States. I was out of my estrogen for a while, and it is taking it out on my face. So there's that. I also pierced my eyebrow, and not that it's relevant at all to anything, but I pierced my eyebrow and the stupid thing migrated, so I had to pop that out, and it's going to heal a little bit, and then I will do it again. But that's something I've been wanting to do for 20 years, and then of course it pops out. But anyway, back to the point. So we are in the midst of waiting for the presidential election results, and among those, several others. So we have mad war going on, and a lot of tension. And I don't mean war as in uh, World War II. I mean war as in the citizens of this country and around the world are just, they're turning on each other. They're absolutely turning on each other, and it's it's ridiculous. I don't understand this. It's going to be Trump or it's going to be Biden, and people are having high anxiety over what the outcome is going to be. And I'm seeing a lot of really nasty posts on Facebook and on Instagram about idiots with MAGA hats and Trump flags and flying the American flags, and how all white people are racist, and how anyone who supports Trump is avidly anti everything. And then I'm seeing all this stuff about liberal stupidity and snowflakes, and and I have my thoughts on all these things, and we're not going to get into what my thoughts are. I'm talking about what I'm seeing from people all over the place. And people are hateful and spiteful and just vulgar to each other. And I'm curious as to what is the purpose behind this, because when you have all these things that you post on Facebook or on Instagram or whatever your social media platform may be, you're saying all this stuff, and along with it, I'm seeing these same people, and on both sides, liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, Christian, atheist, whatever you want to call it, I'm seeing all these people that are posting all of these different things, saying all these different things, these protests in the city, and all of these fun things that they're spewing. And along with it, they're saying, if you don't see things my way, I'm paraphrasing, but you get my point. If you don't see things my way, deleted, blocked, all this other, basically they're cutting friends, family, acquaintances, associates, all these different people out of their lives on a permanent basis. Who knows? But they're doing all this because, dear God, someone doesn't agree with them or see things their way. And yet, in the midst of all this, they're continuing to spew their ideologies. So who are they spewing the ideologies to? If you're cutting out everybody that disagrees with you, you're not going to talk to them in person anymore. You're not going to say hello to them on the street. You're not going to accept a friend request from somebody that has some political view or some whatever view posted on their profile. So what people are doing is they're creating this little box for themselves, which is nothing but their own like-minded people. And yet they continue to post all this stuff. So who are they speaking to? I mean, is that not the definition of preaching to the choir? Who are you trying to convince when you're spewing hatred about other people who don't see things exactly the same as you? You're spewing this kind of vulgarity and hatred and ugliness towards anybody that does not see things the same way as you in a closed box. So Who are they talking to? Who really? What is this? What is going on? It's enclosing themselves um, in a little box and becoming completely encapsulated into their own ideals, which is completely contradicting what they're saying that they want. Both sides. I'm calling bullshit on both sides. So you say you want love. You say you want compassion. You say you want consideration for the next guy. You want, Christians are big on saying love your neighbor as yourself, and preaching the ways of Jesus. And the Democrats, liberals, whatever it may be, they're big on. Turn this nose ring. I'm not picking boogers. I'm turning a nose ring. Bugs me. Yeah, still didn't work. Anyway, they're preaching tolerance and acceptance of all people, and everyone's supposed to be able to accept other people for being who they are, and yet they're not. They're hating. Both sides. Republicans have a traditionally Christian-ish mentality. Not across the board, but just bear with me for the sake of argument. So basing belief structures on the concept of Christianity, and yet beating people over the head with a Bible that they're wildly misinterpreting because they're not actually reading it. And yes, I have read it several times in several translations and done a great deal of study on where it came from and why it is the way that it is. And if that's the book that you choose to use to base your life off of, you better go back and read it again. Because what you're doing is you're beating people over the head because they're not exactly like you. One of the big ideals behind the Bible in the first place was that it wasn't written for people who didn't believe in it. It was written for the believers. And the believers are supposed to do what Jesus said to do. And that is love. That is to love people. That is to do good to your others. That is to care about what happens to other people. Not to criticize them, not to condemn them, not to shove people into the ground and call them out and call them hideous names because they don't think like you. That's not Christianity. That is not what Jesus taught. I'm not talking about capitalism. That's a whole different thing. Capitalism versus socialism versus whatever it is that you want to come up with. I'm talking about the overall big umbrella picture behind what a lot of conservatives claim to believe in. They're not practicing what they preach. Now, same goes for the other side. Okay, so you have liberals, you have Democrats, or whatever their ideals are. Okay, so my husband just sent me a message that said Biden won. Okay, so it's 9:06 a.m. on Saturday the 7th. They're saying Biden won. Okay, not getting into it. So here you have a grouping of people who are demanding tolerance, demanding compassion, demanding care for your fellow man, who are saying all people should be accepted. for who they are, regardless of race, color, creed, religion, XYZ, pick your whatever. Okay, so you have all of these thought processes that are behind it, that you're saying love and acceptance and tolerance. Love wins. Okay, love trumps hate has been a big one. What are you doing? You're hating everybody who doesn't believe like you. You're hating everybody who thinks differently from you. You're calling people hideous names. You're attacking people in the middle of the street, and both sides are doing that kind of bullshit. It's stupid. It's stupid. What are you preaching? Who are you preaching it to? Are you going to actually follow through with what you claim to believe in? Or are you just going to sit there and continue to spew hatred and claim that it's love? I call bullshit. It's bullshit. It's hatred. Now, the world is changing. The world is changing drastically, rapidly. The age of Aquarius. Yep. The age of Aquarius sets in. Okay, we're in a different global consciousness. I think that's pretty obvious. And no matter how you want to term it, between what's being said in churches or what's being said in metaphysical circles, or pick it, the same thing has been said for the longest time. Okay, but the world is changing, and 2020 has been, shoving it in your face how it's changing, because I don't believe that we're ever going to go back to the way things were. I really don't. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know. I think it's a big period of adjustment. We have had COVID. Everybody knows the C word. We have COVID. We have political unrest all over the place. We have rioting in the streets. We have people that are losing their minds and losing their shit all over the place. Why? Because people aren't agreeing with you? Or is it because of fear? How is any of this operating in love? How is any of it operating on what you say you want? I have loved ones on both sides, people in my soul family that do not share my perspectives on things. I love them, but we're fighting, and people are literally dying, going to prison for years, the majority of their lives. Over what? Over what? This isn't the way that you're fighting for what you believe in. This is a pissing contest. This is a pissing contest between who's going to be able to scream the loudest, cry the loudest, get what they want, throw the biggest fit. Really? On both sides? What is this accomplishing? Please, please, please tell me how people being murdered, how rioters and looters and hate all over the place. Tell me how this furthers the idea that races and creeds matter, that Black lives matter, or that white lives matter, or Asian lives, or Jewish lives, or Christian lives, or atheist lives, or witch lives. Oh, let me forget about witches most of the time, but I'm not getting into that either. How is it exactly showing other people that this is a life that matters by trashing and disregarding and spewing hatred and ugliness? Is that not proving stereotypes? Is that not putting ammunition in the hands of other people? Why? Why are we in war over who wants to wear a mask and who doesn't? Why are we at war with each other? Because we don't think exactly alike? I'm confused. I'm confused. I don't understand what's happening or why. I don't understand what the purpose is. What the big picture is. What's the ultimate goal here? What's the end game on both sides? So if you wear a mask, you're demanding that other people wear a mask, or you're demanding that other people don't wear a mask. What are you doing? When you're insisting across the board that everyone is like you, what is the society that you want? What's the end game here? What's the ultimate goal? How are we accepting or tolerating or celebrating our differences, our individualities? How are we showing love? Christians, conservatives, those who claim to love, how are you showing love when you're calling people faggot? When you're calling people god-awful names? When you're saying that other people shouldn't have the same kind of ability to live their lives the way they want to, but you're entitled to yours? And you're beating people over the head with a book about it? Liberals, how is it that this is working? How is it that you're preaching tolerance, and you're preaching acceptance, and you're preaching love of the next guy, when you are hating actively, hatefully, spewing garbage about people who don't think like you? If this is the way that we're going to be, you know what? We may as well just let Skynet take over. We may as well just go ahead and build it and let it have its AI go online and start wiping us all out. Because what's the point? I don't like the color orange. It is not my favorite color. I don't choose to decorate with it. I have people, whoops, look at that. I got schmutz on my nose. Turn my head too fast. I have people that I love who absolutely love the color orange. They decorate with it. They want it. They surround themselves with it. I don't like it. I like purple. My mom does not like purple. She's not a big fan. She likes lemon buttery yellow. She doesn't like black. I love black. Have it all over the place. Am I supposed to hate my mother because she doesn't like the color that I like? Am I supposed to hate her for liking a color that I don't particularly care for? I mean, because basically this is what it boils down to. I'm wearing blue. So am I to be hated because I'm wearing blue? And of course I realize that there are much bigger issues at stake. There is the abortion issue. There is whether or not 2 men or 2 women should be able to marry, or have children together, or how we're going to deal with foreign policy, how we're going to handle life in general in different ways that is beyond us, beyond our thinking. I get that. And I understand that there's always disagreements. There's always going to be, there always has been, there always will be massive disagreements on how we handle very important things. I'm not talking about how we're handling very important things. I'm talking about how we're handling our basic humanity. What are we doing? We may as well go back to, take the Puritans and just go right back to England. Go right back and never set foot in the United States for wanting a different kind of life. They may as well go back and join the Church of England and live their lives out under the control of what they chose to walk away from. Okay? Every hideous stereotype that's out there, you may as well just go ahead and continue to prove every nasty stereotype that there is about everybody, if that's the way that you're going to behave. If we're going to hate everybody for everything that we do, why do we have united in our nation? We're not. We're not united. We're divided. And because of that, this country is going to fall. Is it going to fall? Is it going to become something entirely different? I think yes on both accounts. And it is my hope and my prayer that when I guess my kid's tired of watching Monsters Inc. It is my hope and it is my prayer that when this drastic change comes down the pike, that is coming down the pike, when it happens, that we can get beyond our bullshit. People can actually learn to live by what they say they value, what they say they're fighting for. Because in a lot of ways, and stop and think about this, be realistic. In a lot of ways, you're saying you want exactly the same thing. You're saying you want peace. You're saying you want love. You're saying you want prosperity. You're saying you want happiness for yourself, for the guy next door, for your family. You want to be able to live your life the way that you want to live your life. Feel like you can live your life without somebody coming down and criticizing every move that you make because of it. That's what we say we want. And we're the ones that are stealing that from everybody else by spewing the ugliness and the hatred. Recognize at all that we are all actually part of the same energy source. Call it God, call it Creator, call it Source, call it the Great Goddess, call your deity whatever it is that you want to call your deity. We are all components of a vast system of energy. We're all coming from the same place. Because of that, we are all actually one. We are united whether we like it or not. And because of that, when we're so busy hating everybody else for every little move that they make, for every little thing that they think, and we're so busy hating everybody else because we're not fucking cyborgs. We're hating ourselves. We're damaging ourselves. We're teaching our children, teaching our family members how to walk on eggshells in order to have value in our eyes. You're doing that to yourself. So, I guess those are my rambling thoughts. Take them, leave them, whatever. I will walk in love. I will love the guy that disagrees with me. I will love the gal that doesn't see things my way. Because in my book, it's okay. Because I'm not a cyborg. Neither are you. I have my opinions on things, and that's okay. You have your opinions on things, and that's okay. You don't have to think like me, or to live your life like me, or to do anything like me in order for me to see value in you as a human being, for me to have compassion that you have a good life, a happy life. I want you to be at peace. I want you to have everything that you need. I want you to have everything that you want that's good for you. I want you to know the value of work and the satisfaction that comes from having earned. I wish you joy. I wish you happiness. I wish you peace. I will do for myself. And as I teach my children, and this is the way it works in my house, I will do as I believe the commandment is from my Creator. The judgment's not mine, no matter what it is. The judgment's not mine. My job is to love. So I love you. I wish you peace. I wish you happiness. I wish you well. May all good things come to you. May all happiness and joy and peace come to this world. And may we learn to actually live by the core of what we're saying we truly want, instead of walking in absolute hypocrisy for everything that we do, because that's not okay. So, be at peace, breathe, be in love. Take my thoughts, leave them. Whatever floats your boat is okay with me.